First of all, the Kaaba was built by Ibrahim as in Mecca. We all know that. But the Jews and Christians who consider Ibrahim as to be a true prophet, they give all the importance to Jerusalem. And they call Mecca as a common city. And they say that Mecca has nothing to do with Ibrahim as and his God. But in their own book, Torah, it is clearly written that Mecca is the house of God. 80 years ago, in World War II, when Hitler conquered the Netherlands, he put all the Jews in a line and slowly took them to a room where they were easily killed with gas. There, all the Jews were waiting for their death. And all of them had the same word in their language, Psalm 84. This is the main book of the Jews, Psalm 84, written in the book of Psalms of the Tanakh and Hebrew Bible. The Tanakh is the most important book for the Jews. And there are three main parts of the Tanakh. Torah, which was revealed to Moses as. Nevi'im, which was revealed to the other prophets of the Jews. And Ketuvim, which has one part, the Book of Psalms, which was revealed to David as, which the Muslims know as Sabur. It is written in Psalm 84. How beautiful is the place where you live, O Lord! Blessed are the people who live in your house and worship you all the time. And their heart is only towards the pilgrimage, Hajj. When they pass by the dry valley of Bakkah. Bakkah, they turn that valley into springs. They go from strength to strength, which is the original Hebrew translation, they go from mountain to mountain. In this book of the Jews, it is clearly written that there is a house of God in the dry valley of Bakkah, and it has springs too. And people go from mountain to mountain there. This is clearly about the Kaaba, which is in Mecca, which has a well of Zamzam. And people go from the mountain of Safa to Marwa. But it is written here that Allah's house is in Mecca. What does it have to do with Mecca? It has to do with the Quran. Allah says in Surah Al-Imran of the Quran, say that what Allah has said is the truth. And follow Ibrahim, who was upright and not polytheistic. Surely, the first house that was made for people for the worship of Allah, is that which is in Bakkah. It is the center of blessings and guidance for all the worlds. So, O people of the book, why do you deny the verses of Allah? The Quran and the Torah do not say that Mecca is Mecca, but it is of Bakkah. And Bakkah is of Mecca. It is an old name. The first Kaaba of Muslims was in Jerusalem, instead of Mecca. One day, the Prophet was leading the prayer in the mosque in Medina. Suddenly, Allah commanded that wherever you are, turn your face from the holy house to the Kaaba in Mecca. So, during the prayer, the Prophet turned 180 degrees towards the Kaaba. And all the companions behind him did the same. And in this way, for the first time, the new Kaaba of Muslims was made. So, the Jews said that the Muslims have left the holy house and made a new Qibla from God knows where. Both the Jews and the historians believe that the first temple of the Jews in Jerusalem was made by Suleiman as. 3,000 years ago. While in Mecca, the Kaaba was made by Ibrahim as. Which was thousands of years before Suleiman as. So, the Muslims did not make a new Qibla, but went back to the original Qibla. In the Jewish religion, Ibrahim as. Left Ismail as. And his mother Hajar in the desert of Paran. Which is now considered by many historians as the area of Hijaz. And in this Hijaz, Mecca is also present. In the Jewish religion, Ismail as. Is not as important as Ishaq as. And they say that Ibrahim as. Was ordered to kill Ishaq as. Not Ismail as. But they always consider Ismail as. And his children to be good and honest people. And this can be guessed from this movie clip which the Jews made on Moses as. When Moses as. Flees from Egypt and takes refuge with Jethro. Jethro says to him, Abraham is the father of many nations. We are the children of Ishmael, his firstborn. We are the obedient of God. After the Kaaba was made, the first name of Mecca was Baghdad. And most of the people here were the children of Ismail as. As time went by, many more tribes also started living in Mecca. And the name of Mecca changed from Bakkah to Mecca. And this has happened again and again in history. Like Bombay and Mumbai. Gradually, people left the real religion and started worshipping idols. And the Kaaba was also filled with strange idols. When Prophet Muhammad a.s. was 35 years old, one day due to rains, the roof of the Kaaba suddenly fell. So the people of Mecca decided to rebuild the Kaaba. But only with halal money. As soon as they started building the broken wall of the Kaaba, something strange was written on the wall. They tried to read it, but it was not in Arabic, it was written in another language. Finally, a Jew came and told them that the language of the Jews is Aramaic. And it is written on it, I am Allah, the Lord of Makkah. And I made it when I made the sky and the earth and the moon and the sun. And it will remain until its 2 mountains are built. And even today, on the roof of the Kaaba, it is written Makkah, not Mecca. When the people of Mecca started building the Kaaba again, then all the tribes started fighting each other. Which tribe will put the black stone in its original place? So finally, the oldest person of the Quraysh said that whoever will enter through the door of the next Kaaba, he will decide. And suddenly Prophet Muhammad a.s. entered the Kaaba. And he was not a prophet at that time. So everyone said that we accept. Because Muhammad is the most truthful and trustworthy. So Prophet Muhammad a.s. put the black stone in the middle of a sheet to end their fight. And he told all the tribes to hold this sheet from the side. And as soon as they reached that place, Prophet Muhammad a.s. fitted the black stone in the Kaaba with his own hands. But the Kaaba was still full of 360 idols at that time. And the key to the Kaaba was with Usman bin Talha. After becoming a prophet, one day Prophet Muhammad a.s. came to Usman bin Talha and asked him for the key to the Kaaba. So he said that the key to the Kaaba is with you. So Prophet Muhammad a.s. said to Usman bin Talha that remember, one day you will see the key to the Kaaba in my hands. And I will give this key to whoever I want. So Usman bin Talha said that okay. So that will be the worst day for the Quraysh. So Prophet Muhammad a.s. said no. That day will be the most honorable day for the Quraysh. A few years after this incident, Prophet Muhammad a.s. conquered Makkah with 10,000 Muslims. And broke all the idols in the Kaaba. And returned the key to the Kaaba to Usman bin Talha. After this, Muslims became the most powerful force in Arabia. But only 14 days after conquering Makkah, Muslims went to Hunain for one of the most difficult battles of their lives.